Hello friends, how are you? I hope you are all fine and doing very well. Welcome to Quick Code, and we are learning here stuff about HTML right now, but we will learn different topics like CSS, JavaScript, PHP, Bootstrap, Python and things like that. But for now we are learning HTML, so stay focused with us on learning HTML. This is a very basic presentation that I am going to give you that will revise all the previous things we just learned. So let's start it. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Hypertext or markup language, the difference between the hypertext and markup language is the text that contains links is known as hypertext. A text that have links is non-hypertext, and markup is a language that uses tags, which is less than and greater than symbol, and between the tags is an element. So the whole thing we can say is a markup tag that will tell the browser what to do with the content. There is a structure of HTML page. The first thing we include doc type HTML, the thing that tells us that this is HTML5 page. Then we type HTML and /HTML tag here. Then we use body tag and close the body tag. Then there is headings, paragraphs and stuff like that, images and links. But here you can see a thing. I'm not using this thing in my previous pages of HTML, this thing. So what is this thing actually? So actually this is a head tag that will display on the top of the browser the title of the page. I will show you in the next lesson of this, so don't worry about if you're not understanding what is this. So just keep going with us. So we write HTML body /body to complete the body and /HTML to complete our web page, and within body we use headings and paragraph. Misconception about HTML, that HTML is a programming language. HTML is not a programming language. Keep it in mind. With HTML we can build web pages and things like that, like databases and web pages, or you can even make games. But with a programming language we make programs, softwares. HTML don't have any syntax restriction, but programming is full of syntax restriction. So keep it in mind that HTML, that's why HTML, we think HTML is easy. Programming needs interpreter or compiler, but HTML don't need these things. HTML just needs a web browser. But both have only one similarity, that we instruct in computer with HTML and in programming. So in programming language we instruct computer to do something, and in HTML we instruct computer to do this thing or that thing, or print an image or things like that. So the purpose of this thing I was telling you is that HTML and programming, there is a misconception. People believe that HTML is a programming language, but HTML says that I am a markup language in the abbreviation of this HTML page. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Why, where we use HTML? We use HTML to make arrange our pages and to make a good structure of a website. Without HTML we can't make a single web page. So we have to learn HTML first to create pages. Then where we write our HTML coding within any kind of text editor, but don't use Microsoft Word because it is very secure for using these kind of purposes. It has its own extensions, so we don't need to use Microsoft Wordpad, Notepad. We can use Notepad because it is very basic text editor, but no, it is not for professionals. We have to change our text editor for become more productive and professional. A good text editor, a Sublime text editor is a very good text editor for web development, but I'm using Visual Studio, and we will install Visual Studio and learn Visual Studio first. It's totally up to you. If you like Sublime, then you can use Sublime, but I'm using Visual Studio because it is easy for me and I feel comfortable within it. HTML basic structure definitions or descriptions are as follow. The tag doc type defines that it is the variant, different types of variant. The doc type will show you that it is HTML5 variant. Then HTML is our whole coding enclosed within HTML tags, and then the body tag appears different kinds of things like headings and paragraphs, images, links. Head tag I don't want to include in this lecture about head tag. We will learn head tag in next lectures, so don't worry about what is head tag actually. So H1 for heading and P for paragraph, IMG for image. How we can create our first web page? We created our first web page by using a notepad and typing in the coding of HTML, the structure of HTML, and save it with the extension file of .html. We can also use .html .htm extension. So it's totally up to you. What do you like, .htm or .html? You can use both. The structure of tags are as follows. The first thing is left angle bracket, then the character like P, H1, H2, IMG. Okay, so here is our less than sign or left angle bracket, then this is our character, and then this is our greater than sign, and you can also say it is a right angle bracket. So this is totally one thing, that it is our opening tag, or you can say it is our starting tag. Here it is saying that it is our opening tag. Then the next thing is we have to close our tags. Some tags don't have any closing. We use the left angle bracket, then we use a slash. Here you can see it is a slash. Then we use the tag we started with, tag name. Then we use this sign, and this is our complete clothing tag. And inside those tags where our content is exists. Nesting of tags. This is a very basic thing. HTML contains two more tags, head and body. The head tag contains title, and the body tag contains H1 and P and IMG and stuff like that. But for now, leave this thing, and we are focusing on this thing. But remember that this thing is very important. Remember that this thing is very important, and also this thing is also very important. And then it is telling about that HTML elements can be nested within different kinds of elements, like body nested H1P image. All the HTML document consists of nested elements. So it is our basic kind of structure of page, and we are using here links. So you can see we are using here links. So first we write doc type HTML to tell the browser that it is HTML5. Then we use HTML, then body tag, and close the body tag. Then between this thing we use a for linking tag, then href is an attribute for hyperreference, then https is a site source, then the text that is appeared when a user click on it makes the user or visits the user to go to this site. So keep it in mind, A is a tag for linking things, and we are linking here youtube.com with this text. When a user click on this text, browser takes the user to this site, and the result will look like something like this. As you can see, it is displaying this thing. Images in HTML. HTML images are defined with img tag, and then the source file src is an attribute, and alt is also an attribute that I don't use this thing, but I will show you in advanced images videos. Then width and height provided as attributes, and there is an example: img src img.jpg, width 104 and height 142. Use pixels here or whatever quantity you want. But you can see that this thing I don't mention in previous videos because it is not very useful, but sometimes it can be useful because sometimes our image don't load. When our image don't load, then this text is appeared. And then this is a document of image of HTML page. First we use I'm going to tell you that first we use doc type HTML, then HTML, then body, then img for image tag, src for source and the source of the image. So I'm using w3schools.jpg, it's a website actually. Then alt for alternative text. If this image don't load or get crashed, then this text will appear, and then width of the image and height of the image. Then our body is closed, and here is our HTML is closed. And keep it in mind that image tag don't have any closing tag. So pause the video for now and solve these two problems. Make an HTML document and insert a link, and then insert to image. Breaking tag. Break tag is donated by br tag. This is our element. br is our element. This is our element, and these are our tags. Br is an empty element without a closing tag. The br tag defines a break line. It is helpful to make a break between lines. It don't have any closing tag like image tag. Okay. The next thing is our HTML attributes. HTML attributes are things that provides additional information. Attributes are always specified in the starting tag, not in the closing tag or anywhere else. Just you have to put the attribute in the starting tag. Attribute usually comes in name and value pairs, like name equals to value. The attribute syntax looks like this: name equals to value, like width as a name and value is a 30 pixels. Here is a full example of attribute in image syntax is as following: img src is a name as an attribute, and then the value of that name src, that means source of that image file, and the file name is this. When this page is loaded, the img.jpg will be displayed. Here you can use different attributes in a row, like I'm using src.jpg and then alt, and then I can also use width and height. So in HTML there are two kinds of headings: the subheading and a heading, the greatest heading. So headings are defined as h1 and h6. The h1 defines the most important heading, and the h6 defines the least important heading. The document type HTML body /body/HTML, and between this the body tag, within the body tag we use h2, h1, h2, h3, h4, h5, h6, and these tags will show you the input of that h1 is the greatest, h2 is the sub of h1, and h3 is the sub of h2. So these kind of subheadings we can use in different pages in different environments. Horizontal line tag is a line tag that will use to separate one content from another. It actually creates a horizontal line. The result of horizontal line look like this. We use the h1 here, then we use a paragraph, and then here you can see we use hr tag, and it don't have any closing tag, so we don't close any hr tag. Then this our hr tag, we use the hr tag, and you can see the line is appeared. So this is our heading 2, this is our paragraph, this is this is hr, so the line is appeared, and this is our heading 2, again the heading 2 is appeared, and this is our paragraph, and the paragraph is appeared.